Hi, it's Handyman Dan again, and today what we're going to show you is the oil change on a 2014 Audi Q7. This is the 3.0 T as in turbo, and we're going to get right on that right away here. And I wanted to introduce, this is my supervisor here. This is Nubsy, and he's always here to help me whenever it comes to doing some work in the garage. So if we just step aside here, first thing I wanted to show you is one of the first things I do whenever I do an oil change is I write down the date and the mileage, the oil that I'm putting in it, and the number of quarts. And I put that in a little plastic bag here, and you can see I have a number of different things. I actually have it on the back of the filter label, but I also have some other things in here like the air filter and all that. Keep it in the glove box here. This is the manual. The manual shows you on the capacities that this engine requires 7.2 quarts of oil. And again, I'm using the Mobil 0W40 oil. That's a good European engine oil. So I keep that in the glove box. That way it's there for the next time. Okay. Now on this car here, to open up the hood, there's a latch right here. You just release that. And okay, well, now that we've got the hood open here, we've located the engine, we can start showing you what we need to do. First of all, I'd like to just show you the oil. Dipstick is right here. This is where you measure the oil level. You can see this oil here is actually very dirty. We're using a synthetic oil. You can usually get 9,000 miles off of that. And in the back here is where the oil filter is located, and you can see it has a large nut on the top of it, and I'll show you how to take that off in a moment here. And then we're going to be getting underneath the car. That's where the plug is for the oil, and we'll be loosening that and letting the oil out. I'd first like to show you the tools that are needed for this procedure, and I've got them all laid out in front of us. If you have power tools, you can use those. If you don't, there's always the screwdrivers and the wrenches and type of things. But the most difficult part of this job, believe it or not, is taking this shroud out from underneath the car. It has a number of different bolts here. I think there's like 8 of these and 4 of these. So you got 12 screws right there. And then there's 2 of these. These are a 10 millimeter. You can either use a wrench, or what I use is a 10 millimeter socket on my hex driver here. And then you need a number 25 Torx, or you can use the bit for the hex driver like I have here. And then the Allen wrench. This is a 7/32 Allen wrench. This is for the plug that the oil drain plug. I believe it's metric, but I don't have the metric, so I use a 7/32 standard. Then as far as the supplies that you need here, this happens to be the Wix 57204 oil filter. It's a cartridge filter that you just change out. So those are really nice on these European cars, and they're on the top, they're not on the bottom, so that makes it real easy. Then we have the Mobil oil here. This is Mobil 0W40. I find that the best place to buy this is Walmart, the cheapest prices. And some of these other auto parts stores, it's very high for oil. But these I only paid like $24.97 for, or something like that. Those are 5-quart jugs, and this car requires 7.2 quarts of oil. And then in preparation for draining the oil, I have the drain catch here. I have a funnel to put the oil back in, and then we're going to put this oil back in these jugs. That way, when we're done, we can take it back to one of the auto parts stores, AutoZone or O'Reilly's or something, and they recycle the oil and they'll take it for free. And I always have an extra jug in case I don't have enough capacity. But since we're taking 7.2 out, and we're not using all 10 of these, we're going to have an extra container. Okay, and the other thing that I suggest is that you have a bag available, because when we pull the oil filter out, you want to have that in there so that it doesn't drip all over the place. I've also put a trash bag cut a trash bag and put it underneath the car, just so we have something to catch the oil. It doesn't get all over the concrete in case we have a little accident. I've got a little headlamp here that I like to use. That'll give me the light that I need, both under the hood here, as well as underneath the car, so that we can see what we're doing. I've got myself a little mat here to slide on. I can slide underneath the car. So what you want to do is take this drain and put it underneath here. And I'll show you here where the plug is located. Okay, so the plug is right here, okay? And you'll just use the wrench. Now, since there's a frame structure underneath here, what I like to do is I like to take a piece of cardboard and put underneath here so that it drains over into the catch. It doesn't get all over the frame. So I'm gonna take that loose now and drain the oil, and then we'll be back at you. Hi, Handyman Dan. We're back working on the Audi Q7, 2014 Audi Q7, and we're gonna show you how to change the oil cartridge in this case. One thing that's nice about some of the German vehicles, most of the German vehicles, is that they have the oil filter on the top versus down on the bottom. So when you take it off, you don't have so much oil all over you. So when we do this here, the first thing we do is we remove the cartridge. Okay, we remove the cartridge, again using the 36mm ratchet. We pull that out, and you always want to have a plastic bag handy to get that, because there's usually quite a bit of oil, as well as this gasket comes off of this. Put that in here. When you buy the filter, it gives you the new gaskets to put in here. I've already put the new one in, and then you put the new cartridge in. It snaps right on here. You'll hear it click. Okay, and then you just put that right on here and tighten it down, and that'll be your oil filter. Now, what we're going to do now is go underneath the car and pull the oil out that was captured in the container, and we're going to refill the oil. When we put the oil in here, it's going to go into this place here to refill the 7.2 quarts that's required for this vehicle. That's it. So we're just about finished changing oil here on the 2014 Audi Q7. We've put the plug back underneath on the oil pan, and we have put the shroud back up underneath there as well. Again, there was a number of screws to put that, reattach that. Put the oil back into the car, 7.2 quarts, and now we're just going to check the oil level and see what that looks like. You can see here on the dipstick that it's full, but what we want to do to make sure that we're going to take the car and start it up and run it and make sure that it has plenty of oil, and it's very important that you don't have any leaks underneath, or you have the proper level of oil in it. So what I'm going to show you now then is how we recycle this oil. Again, you can take this to just about any of the auto parts stores, and they will recycle it for free. So what we'll do is we'll just put this back into these containers and fill it up and take it back, and that'll be it, and we'll be finished with the job. And that's really all that there is to it, folks. Okay, we're all finished up here with changing oil in the 2014 Audi Q7. We've got the oil back in. We're going to start the car up. We're going to run it, make sure there's no leaks, make sure, then we're going to recheck the oil level just to be sure that we have enough in there. Very, very important you have all that. We have all the containers emptied or filled up here with the old oil, and we'll take that back to one of the auto parts stores for recycling. So hope everyone's enjoyed watching this video. You can certainly save yourself a lot of money. You know, these the German cars use a synthetic oil. It lasts 2.5, 3 times as long as normal oil. So the whole oil change here costs us about $70 for all the supplies. And if you can do it yourself, you can save yourself a lot of money. So that's what we're all about. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.